It's like the famous saying, you know, you either live to eat or eat to live. I mean, I definitely live to eat. I tell everyone I was probably the only 6-year-old boy with an easy bake oven.
Yeah, I think I was fortunate from a young age to know that this is what I wanted to do for my entire life. I became a chef because at heart I'm a fat boy and I like to eat.
I've always, I've grown up in a family that celebrated good food and, big dinners. So I always grew up in the kitchen and around the kitchen.
So the creation of Chickenwire came about because, as chefs we hear many times about supper clubs. Some chefs do it to start a business, to eventually maybe one day have a restaurant or whatnot. And there's a famous one in North Carolina. It's called Blind Pig. I've been to a couple of theirs, and both times completely different dinners, which I thought was really cool. And it's out of Asheville, and they get it. I mean, what they're doing is pretty cool. I was like, you know what? Why don't I? I was like, I do know enough chefs out there that I can make this happen. And so I immediately thought of which ones I have phone numbers for, and I sent out text to some of them, and John Childers is the first one that fired back immediately.
People ask me a lot of times, or I think the perception is that cooking and being in the service industry, whether it be cooking or serving guests on the front of the house, they would think that what we do is a selfless profession because we serve people. I'm not embarrassed to say that I think it's very selfish. I'm a selfish person because I get just as much joy out of feeding people than they get out of consuming. And I think food brings people together, like I said, because it's essential, and I think that it's sensual. It's a very sensual experience. You use every sense, and that's the goal, is to utilize every sense, make people excited about food, and hopefully evoke some great memory or some form of nostalgia, or even create a new memory for people. The Supper Club gives the chefs a chance to really showcase what it is that they love about cooking. Honestly, I think sometimes I like to cook things that maybe would consider to be whimsical. Well, with the Supper Club, you're able to do that, and the only thing that holds you back is yourself.
John was all gun-ho, and I thought that was great because I really wanted him, because he and I have completely different looks. Our styles are different, our approaches are different, but he's a good guy. I go to these different events where we run into one another, and I've always had a good conversation, good interaction with John. And then I did as well with Sean Fowlers, who owns Mandolin, and it just, and then he was all gun-ho for it.
I think food brings people together because it's a common, it's a common uniting factor. Everybody eats, everybody enjoys food on some level, whether it's at a basic subsistence level or a little more of a kind of a recreational, leisurely, entertainment level. I think that, I think that's one of the reasons why I cook. That's why most people cook. It's to share it with other people. So I think it's fun to get out and see what other chefs are doing, to work in a different environment, and then also to be able to cook a different type of food than what I would normally do in the restaurant. I think the Supper Club experience is unique because you're getting a lot of like-minded people in the same setting. It's a lot more of a communal, social atmosphere. Generally, you go into a restaurant, you're eating with the people in your party. You're separated from the kitchen. You're somewhat separated from the staff at the restaurant. Here, everybody's on board. Everybody's there for the same reason. It's to have fun. It's to enjoy, to enjoy each other's company, to enjoy good food, a good drink. So I think it's a lot more of a shared communal experience. Everybody's on the same page. We're all in it together.
I think people should come to this because they're gonna just see us chefs at exactly what we really want to make. As chef owners, we don't always get to make exactly what we want. There's this famous saying I was once taught in a restaurant: 1/3 is what they want, 1/3 is kind of a compromise, and 1/3 of your menu is your thing. And you know, if you don't do that, you're closed. With this, we can basically do whatever we want. The people, the customers, there's certain ones out there, they're dying to experience it. You know, they want to see exactly what chefs can do, and they want that cool secret part about it too. You know, I wish I would have been invited to some secret one in like someone's house or something. You know, you hear about those, that would be cool. And you know, it just totally, it's gonna be great because it's just different points of view. And I think the people are gonna love that.